Hi all, this is Chris here with EverydayVBA. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Macro Monday challenge of transposing a range. Now, I know that if you did this one-off, you could do this as a copy-paste. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, but there are times when you're getting data in a standard format, but you need to convert it. And so that's why a macro would make sense, and it's just really good to just practice loops and kind of figure out how to do this kind of stuff, because you just basically are able to add it to your toolkit. So what is Macro Monday? I post a Macro Monday challenge on Mondays. I post the solution on Friday. I include my code, and that is what we're doing here. So I've got my Visual Basic Editor open. You can get there by hitting Alt F11. We are going to add a module. We are going to call this sub TransposeRange. Now that has to have no spaces. You can have an underscore. If you have spaces, it'll actually yell at you. Now, I'm going to do this based on the way that I would do this. Now, you could do this. You could actually record a copy and then paste transpose. That would work just fine. I'm going to show you how I would do this, and it's basically using a range and using array. I've started using arrays when I figured out just how much faster they are versus using copying and pasting or posting to sheet ranges. So that's why I do it this way, and we're just going to go ahead and dig in. So first thing we need to do is we need to declare a range as range, and then we're going to set the rng equal to range A1 current region. Now I use current region a lot. The reason I use current region is because it pulls in basically the table of data. I'm getting into a little bit more detail, but if you hit Control A, that's your current region. It's your basically your set of cells. Now the reason I do that is because when I go back to my code, I'm going to pull in that range into a current region. Now once I have that range, I can easily pass it to an array. Oarray equals rng. What this is going to do is it's going to give me a two-dimensional array, just like the sheet. It's going to have cell 1, 1, and so on. But once I have it in that array, I can manipulate it significantly faster in the code. So first thing we want to do is we want to clear that range. So we're going to go rng.Clear. Now if you wanted to just clear the contents, you could do clear contents. Clear actually clears everything, and now all we need to do is do a little for loop. Now we're going to do cl equals 1 to UBound of oarray. Now, I can't spell. Now UBound is basically the upper limit of whatever your array is. Now if you don't put comma 1, it's going to give you the number of rows that it has. And I'm going to be using the width in this cell. So we're going to go for rw equals 1 to UBound array comma 2, and then I'm always going to put in my next, and then I'm going to add in my code. And so basically what this is, and I use this code quite a bit, which is you go through that array, you go all the way down and all the way left. Now it's a little bit different here because you're passing in your variables a little different. So the transposing makes this a little bit more complex, but it's really simple. Now rw.cl equals oarray cl comma rw. And so really all you're doing is you're just flopping it. And to flop it, you're putting what's in cell RW, but in the array it's in CRW. And that is really all the code that you have for this one. So it makes it really nice and clean, pretty simple. Now when I did this, just let me show you a couple tricks that I did just to make life easier. If you hold Control down and you click on your tab and you drag it up, Control, and you drag up, and see how it has that plus sign? That's going to make a copy of it. And the reason I did that is I made a copy of it because I wanted to make sure that when I was doing this, I wasn't messing stuff up. So I was like, oh crap, what happens if I what happens if I do all this stuff and I screw up my code? So So now that we have this, it's easy just to basically step through this code. We pull in the range. We add this range to an array, which is perfect. And so let me show you down here. So we've got our range, and the range is an object, and it has a lot of different object types, right? So our range is going to have cells. It's going to have a top and a bottom and everything in between. And then I've got an array here. And this array, if you look at it, it's a 1 by 11, and you can just drill into it. You know, there's your header, and that's your array. Now we're going to clear our range, and we're basically just going to loop through here, and we're just basically going row by row, but we're taking that row and we're pasting it in the columns. And if we just go through this, all I'm doing is I'm hitting F8, and that just goes through it one by one. We go through one by one, and that is transposed. Now if we do it again, it's transposed again, and we are good to go. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you like it. Make sure that you're liking these videos if you like them, and as well subscribe to the Everyday VBA channel. You can also check me out on Facebook, and I hope you enjoyed.